Hello my dear students, welcome to my channel. I am Shumit and today we will solve an interesting problem of straight lines from JEE Mains 2024. Now students, for past 3 to 4 years NT is making some moderate level questions for JEE Mains. I will not say it's very easy, no it's not. But yes, if your fundamentals are clear and if you know all the basic formulae, basic concepts, you will be able to solve many of these problems. So in this video I will discuss one such problem where you will see how we can solve the problem using very fundamental concepts. Okay, so let's solve. If the sum of all real values of alpha for which the lines 2x minus y plus 3 is equal to 0, this and this do not form a triangle, is P, then find the greatest integer P. This problem is asked in JEE Mains 2024. Okay, so in order to solve this problem, we have to know three key concepts. So let's first discuss these concepts. Number one is concurrent lines. Concurrent lines. Okay, so if there are two equations of straight lines are given, say L1, say three straight lines are given, say L1 is A1x plus B1y plus C1 is equal to 0, L2 is A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0, and line 3 A3x plus B3y plus C3 equals to 0. These are three straight lines. Now these lines will be concurrent. Concurrent means this line will pass through one point if the determinant of their coefficients is equal to 0. It means if determinant A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2 and A3, B3, C3 is equal to 0. This implies that these three lines are concurrent. It means these three lines pass through one point. Okay. Now the next concept is parallel lines. Parallel lines. If there are two lines L1 and L2 whose equations are given like this, then these lines will be parallel if the coefficients of x and y are proportional to each other. That means if A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, then we'll say these lines are parallel. Okay, L1 and L2 are parallel lines. And if it is equal to C1 by C2, then obviously these two lines will be identical. Okay. And the third concept is GIF, greatest integer function. So you have studied about functions. Greatest integer function is denoted by this symbol called box S. And box S is equal to n, where n belongs to integer which is less than equal to x. So greatest integer is a function, is an integral value which is less than equal to x. Okay, this symbol is called box S. Let's take some example to understand. Say box 5.1, it will give us 5. Box 5.1 means if we observe there are infinite integers which are less than 5.1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all integers which are less than 5.1. But among these all integers, the greatest integer is 5. So this is the greatest integral value of 5.5. Now, if we take box 4, then it will give us 4. Since n is less than or equal to x, it means if we take any integer inside box, it will give us that integer. But if we take any fraction inside the box, it will give us the greatest integer, which is less than that fraction. Okay. Now we will solve this problem using these three king constants. Okay. So here we are asked that alpha is the sum of the squares of all real values for which these three lines will not form a triangle. Now first we have to find the value of alpha. So these three lines do not form a triangle. This is the condition. Okay, students. Now if a triangle is formed by three lines, then any of these two lines must be concurrent or intersecting. It's a better word. Any two lines will intersect each other. Any two lines in a triangle will intersect each other. But the third line will not intersect, will not pass through that point of intersection. Okay. And if the third line also passes through this point, so these three lines will be concurrent and they can never form a triangle. So if these three lines do not form a triangle, it means they will be concurrent. It is a possible condition. Okay. So let's evaluate the value of alpha. Now, case 1. If the lines are concurrent, okay, concurrency. So the condition of concurrency says if these three lines, this and this are concurrent, then the determinant of their coefficients will be equal to 0. So we can write determinant 2 minus 1 3 6 3 plus 1 and alpha 2 minus 2. This is equal to 0. Okay. Now if we expand this determinant, we will get the value of alpha. So let's expand this. So this implies 2 into minus 6 minus 2, that is minus 8. So this becomes minus 16 plus this minus 12 minus alpha plus 3 into 12 minus 3 alpha. 12 minus 3 alpha, this is equal to 0. Okay. So from here, if we simplify, we get this is minus 28 and this is 36. So we get minus 10 alpha, minus alpha, minus 9 alpha. So minus 10 alpha is equal to minus 8. Okay. So it implies alpha is equal to 4 by 5. Alpha is equal to 4 by 5. Alpha is equal to 4 by 5. This is a possible value of alpha by the condition of concurrency. Okay. Now the second case. This is one possible value of alpha. By the condition of concurrency, we obtain this. Okay. Now one more case can be there. If three straight lines form a triangle, then any two of them must not be parallel. Okay. If they are parallel, they cannot form triangle. Any two, if we take any two lines, they are intersecting. It means they are not parallel. So if any of these two lines are parallel to each other, then we can say that these three lines will not form a triangle. So we'll check if this line is parallel to this line and if this line is parallel to this line, then they will not form a triangle. Okay. So the case 2 comes from here. Case 2, parallel lines. parallel lines. Okay students, now if this line is parallel to this line, say this is alpha x plus 2y minus 2 is equal to 0, and this line is 6x plus 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. If these two lines are parallel, then their coefficients of x and y will be proportional. So we can write alpha by 6 is equal to 2 by 3, which implies alpha is equal to plus 4. This is one possible condition. And if this line is parallel to that line, then alpha by 2, coefficient of x is alpha and here coefficient of x is 2. So alpha by 2 is equal to 2 by, here the coefficient of y is minus 1. So alpha by, 2 by minus 1. This implies alpha is equal to minus 4. So there are three possible values of alpha. One is plus 4 by 5, other is plus 4 and the other is minus 4. Now P is the sum of all the possible, sum of all the real values of alpha. Sorry, it's sum of the squares. Actually, I have written the question wrong. Sum of the squares. Okay, students. The actual question was this. P is the sum of the squares of all the possible values of alpha. So P is equal to square of 4 square is 16 minus 4 square is 16 plus alpha square 4 by 5 square, so 16 by 25. Then we have to evaluate the value of box P. So box P is equal to 32 plus 16 by 25 under box. Okay. Now this is a proper fraction, so it will be 0 point something. So its greatest integral part is 0, and this is an integer. Now the property of box says this is distributive over addition and subtraction. So we can say this is equal to box 32 plus box 16 by 25. And this implies that box P equals to 32 plus this is 0, so this is 30. This is the final answer. So students, you see how we solve this problem very easily with three fundamental key concepts of coordinate geometry and functions. Okay, so thank you for watching.